Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Unapologetic series. Today, we are forming an unapologetic mindset around money, marketing, and sales specifically. You are going to be able to take all these juicy tidbits and apply them everywhere in your life. And so, money, marketing, sales are a vehicle for the great work. So, recognize that what we're doing today is deep soul work. We're just doing it through the lens or through the vehicle of money, marketing, sales, because that's the skill set I have honed over the last 13 years of my life in tandem with my very metaphysical background, okay, with all the study and practice that I've had in the occult and esoteric. And so you likely also have a genius, an essence, a soul purpose that is being brought forth through your business, and your business is the vehicle, okay, but your business is not the soul. It is simply the driver. It's like if you were to get in a taxi cab, you wouldn't identify with the taxi cab or even the taxi driver, right? You would be nice to you would be courteous, you would pay well, right? You would tip, and you're still you. And that's where we want you. We want you centered in the self. And so this unapologetic series is all about shifting your mindset so that you can market in a really powerful, really precise way, so that you can get clear on your mission and what it is that your soul, your life's intention, what your soul is here to do in this world, and so that you can get hella paid for that mission, for what your soul is here to do in the world. And so we're going to start with money. Like I said, we are doing the three mindset issues we are addressing today in this lesson are the mindset of money, marketing, and sales. All right. We're going to start with money. I'm going to dive right in. You came here for the goodies, so I'm going to give them to you. For money, the very first one that I see is that making money is not spiritual. I work with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of wise women, and even when their business is not through the vein of like metaphysical, like they don't actually do any metaphysical, like their business isn't metaphysical, they tend to be very spiritual people. And at some point in their lives, they have learned either through religious conditioning or even through craft conditioning, because there is a lot of victim craft out there that's teaching this exact thing, that money isn't spiritual. They have learned that having money is bad. I know on my personal path, I used to think this is the path of the renunciate. I used to think I had to give everything up in order to attain enlightenment or endarkenment. I had to give everything up to be the most spiritually clean person that I possibly could. And that's just not true anymore. There are multiple paths to enlightenment. The path of the renunciate is one. And so I'm not negating it. You can take the path of the renunciate. You need to give up your dog, your spouse, your house, your wealth, your children, your clothes, and go live in the Himalaya and meditate 24/7. That's the path of the renunciate. You give up everything to sit at the feet of a teacher. Otherwise, you need to pay your bills and you want to move out of scarcity consciousness so that you can do your great work in the world. You simply cannot do your great work in the world if you're running from a space of scarcity. The metaphor I like to give is like if a surgeon went to school for 8, 12 years to become a highly skilled surgeon and he works on the heart, that's a very valuable skill set that he has. Would we ask him to do that for free? And if your answer is like yes, healthcare should be free, okay, we're fantasizing about a world where money doesn't exist. Has that happened for you yet? Right. Okay. In the collective unconscious, we have created this incredible medium, this tool that is cash flow that we can utilize to do our great work in the world and to be well compensated, divinely compensated for our gifts, for our skill sets. Would you be confident that that surgeon is going to perform to the very best of his ability if he's worried about where his next meal is coming from, where he's going to sleep tonight, how he's going to clean himself or his tools, right? And so, whether we like it or not, money is essential in the society that we live in today. And money is neutral. So, we're either charging it as good or bad, or we're allowing it to be neutral. But when we're charging it as negative, we are repelling it. We are keeping it away from ourselves. So, really look deep. Dig deep into like, do I believe that money is bad? And if your answer is no, let's go deeper. Do you see people with money as bad? And let's use words other than bad. Let's say greedy. Let's say, do you see people with money as entitled? Do you see them as disconnected from the world that you live in? Right? When you're working with people who have more money than God, are you bowing down? Right? Are you aware? Do you know your place in that relationship? Okay. Forgive my hair is drying. It's pool day. It's summertime at the time of this recording here in North Carolina, and so I have pool hair. Um, do you look? I used to do this with like the Kardashians. Like they're so vapid, they're so vain, they're so fake. When really what was happening on the inside, judgment is always jealousy. Period. Anytime you see judgment is jealousy, I don't care if it's even like shit like body shame. I've seen people body shame by saying, "Oh, I would never wear that." But what they're actually saying, like she's like, "I would never wear that as a big girl." And like the woman that she's looking at is voluptuous. But what she's really saying is she has a confidence that I don't feel like I could ever have. Right. And it's not always a one-to-one scenario. So, for example, I tend to get very judgmental when it comes to like religious ignorance, gross religious ignorance. Why am I judged? How could I possibly be jealous over a very conditioned Christian person? Well, because they get to be blissful, blissful ignorance. Do you know what I mean? They get to be blissfully conditioned. And through my process of deconditioning, I pulled up so much anger, so much rage, so much shame, so much suppression that I was like, well, if I'm awake, it comes with a level of like doom and gloom. I have to carry this level of doom and gloom. And so then it was built, the judgment of them was built because I was jealous. I feel like I don't get to be happy and awake in the way that they get to be blissfully ignorant, happy and asleep. And it wasn't even actually until this year that I decided that's false. I get to be blissful, full of joy, and radiating like the fucking sun even on my darkest days, even when I have like a really sad, if something terrible happens, I get to radiate. I get to be blissful even in my wakefulness, even with a very studied mind, okay? And so you can see how judgment is jealousy. I want you to take that, work with it. Who are you judging? Notice moving forward, who are you judging? Not just people with money, but where else? And ask yourself, are you judging people with money? My dad, let me get a sip of water. My dad, um, we worked when I was growing up for very wealthy people. We're talking like multi-million dollar homes, multiple homes, like homes on the lake, homes in the mountains, like homes at the beach. And my dad was always like very adamant that they were crooked as fuck. They were like literally paying him, you know what I mean, to like clean their house. And he's like, they have to be doing shady shit to have this kind of money. He would use terms like more money than God. And he would say things like, they've got to be doing crooked things, like whatever it was, right? And he would also like, he like, what is the wife saying about the husband? And he would like get all in their business. So like, oh, well, they're not happy, right? Like they're rich, but they're not happy. And like, why, guru, why, right? Where are you? And to give you context, my dad has made $20 an hour as a housekeeper for the last 35 years. So that's what stagnancy looks like. Okay. So this is a big one. If you are judging people with cash flow, if you are judging people who have millions of dollars, just admit to yourself that you want millions of dollars and then do what they do. Do what they do. You know what I mean? If you see them as greedy or crooked, that's yours. What in you is greedy and crooked that you're projecting out into the world? Because everything in the world is a projection of how we see it. This is like when you see husbands who are like like they're anytime a husband accuses his wife of cheating and she's not cheating, that means he's cheating, right? Like anytime a husband is like going through your phone and like you're like, "What?" It's because he's texting people. You know what I mean? And so you want to be mindful that like we are always projecting on others the way we see the world, not the way the world really is. All right, those are just the first two. Let's get with it. I have a tendency to take people to church. So if you didn't come here for worship, ta-da! Church of Dawn, Ashani presiding, repelling it. This is when you hear stories like I wouldn't even want a house that big. I wouldn't even want BMWs are so expensive, right? I had this one. BMWs are so expensive. I would love, guys, my dream car is a Mercedes Benz. I want a G-Class, a G-Wagon so fucking hard. Like I have this thing about safari looking vehicles and like the G-Class is just the epitome of like luxury means like we're going on an adventure, right? And so like where are you looking out into the world and saying like I'll settle for that. I wouldn't even want that. Like, I wouldn't even want a multi-million dollar business. I used to do this too. I used to say, like, I don't even want a multi-million dollar business. Like, I just want super chill, couple of clients every now and then. And that's what I had. It was super chill. I had a couple of clients every now and then. Not anymore. Your girl's working toward a million dollar, multi-million dollar business that impacts the lives of women everywhere. I want all the women in power. I want all the women holding authority, women and men with feminine spirits, because I see you too, queen. Okay, like, I want the feminine essence. I want her in power. I want her with wealth. I want wise women who have done the work and men who are not moving from ego to have cash flow because that's how we save the world. That's how we heal the world. She doesn't necessarily need saving, but she might need a little bit of, that's how we heal humanity. The world is fine. Humanity, though, all right, so where are you repelling it? Where are you saying, I wouldn't want that when really you secretly would, but you think it means something about you to want, or you think you can't have it? Judgment is jealousy. I think I can't have that thing, so I'll degrade it until it's at my level. Judging people with money or successful businesses, judging is jealousy. We covered that. Just do what they do and you can have what they have, period. Like, steal everything from a good teacher. Ram Dass said that. Like, look at your mentors and just copy paste, not their exact words or like don't become inauthentic, but like if they do X, Y, and Z and see return, then get your bag. Like, do X, Y, and Z to get return. Like, business is not rocket science. Like, if you want a successful business, you need to market like you're the authority. You need to make an offer in your marketing. You need to have a clear call to action in your marketing. We'll cover all of that later on in the series. And then sell your little heart out. If you're not always selling, then you're not always making money. So I want you to always be selling. Always be selling. ABS, always be selling. A mentor of mine also adds, always be bragging. Honey, if you don't believe that you're the very best in the world at what you do and how you do it, your unique skill set and gifts and the essence that you bring to it, nobody else is going to believe that either. Like, get with it. What do I have on my shirt here? I don't know what that is. Get with it. Get with it. Always be bragging, always be selling. Barter and trade. Ugh. Barter and trade is the bane of my existence. It's not the vein of my existence, it's the bane of my existence. Barter and trade is a huge money block. If you are like, "Oh, you'll give me this painting and I'll give you Reiki," the universe literally cannot pay you because you're trying to find all these different ways to not get paid. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if it means that they hand you $100 and you hand it right back to them, exchange the coin. Exchange the coin. Barter and trade will keep you blocked. And I don't care how valuable it is. I don't care, like, if you're not getting energetic exchange from it. Now, there are situations where, like, potentially this is a marketing opportunity for you. So you're willing to show up free because the room is filled with with 100 people that are your ideal client. Okay, maybe then it's okay. But also, if you are doing it for free and the room may have 3 or 4 people, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to make sure that you are valuing your gifts enough to say, pay me for this. Because if you don't, the universe, you're literally telling the universe, don't pay me. And guess what? The universe won't pay you. Okay. There will be no divine exchange, no divine compensation. Offering free services. This is a big one. This is a big free is a money block. Free is a money block. Now, if your like lead magnet is a free thing, cool, go for it. Like, hit it up. There's a difference between offering free information to your people versus offering, excuse me, burp for confirmation, offering free services. Okay, information is infinite. You can find it anywhere. And it's not oftentimes it's not even free. Like, people will buy books, they'll invest in like whatever, but like in the age of AI, like information is free. Don't charge for that. That's fine. Services rendered, if you're doing a Reiki session, if you're showing up and you're going to be the bartender, if you are hosting an event, if you are hosting a retreat, if you are going to do a psychic reading, pull some tarot cards, like whatever you do, if you're going to coach people, if you're going to, um, the other thing too is that like the curation of information should not be free. So like this, the Unapologetic series is right now at the time of this recording in June of 2025. It is a lead magnet for me. So the process that I have chosen is that for 3 days, these webinars live for free to get people to come to my email list. After that, they become paid. They live behind a paywall because they will be a series of events that you can follow to up level your business and up level your mindset and up level your marketing skills and your sales skills. Okay, sales skills. Woo, the S's get me. And so that's strategic. I'm giving it for free to get you onto my email list because I want you to work with me. Full transparency, I want you to work with me because I can help you quantum leap your success yesterday. You can have the results that you want right now, not later, right now. Okay. Anyway, I want you to work with me. So get on my email list. I'm currently actively building my email list. Then it's paid because it's going to be a curation of information because AI can't give you the persona that I give you. AI can't give you the essence, the soul that I can give you. Can AI give you a business strategy? Yes. Can it coach you through it? No. Can it give you therapy? TBD. TBD. Can it give you spiritual information? Sure. Does it use discernment? Where is it pulling that from? Is it speaking from one soul to another? And we don't know, actually. AI might be forming a soul. We will see. TBD on all of it. So, free services is a money block. Offering things for free that aren't strategically placed is a money block. There are so many more that we could go into with money, but for now, I'm going to leave that there. Marketing is the next one. I see this so hard with mobile bar owners. I've been supporting the mobile bar community for a very long time now, like the last 4 years. I see this one so hard with business owners in general. I've supported publishers, I've supported caterers, um, I've supported other spiritual like business owners. I've supported bloggers and like teachers, all the things, okay? Mobile bar owners, though, they make up the mass of the people I've supported for the last 4 years. And in marketing, people are afraid to show up because they feel like it's cringe. Yeah, they feel like it's regardless of what industry they're in. They feel like it's great. When I worked with the blogger, she's like, I can't send more emails. People will be so annoyed. Okay, then like let them be annoyed and let them like that's why the unsubscribe button lives there. You know what I mean? Like let them go. They weren't going to pay you anyway. If people are annoyed by you showing up, they are not your target audience. Now, not triggered though. Let's talk about shadow marketing for a second because it's my fucking fave. I'll go into this deeper in the marketing section of this series, but for now, if people are triggered by your marketing, that's good. And even if they unfollow you or unsubscribe, you earwormed. You're in there now. They can't stop thinking about you and they will be back. I'll tell you most recently, my current mentor, I was so annoyed with her because she was so positive Polly. Like I've spent all this time in darkenment and like unearthing my rage and allowing myself to feel deeply and like not puritanical consciousness, like just light washing my experience, but instead feeling myself to my depths. And why was I triggered by that? For the same reason I'm triggered by those oblivious fucking Christians, because they get to be blissful. They get to be blissful. And like, secretly I want to be blissful, you guys. And so like I paid her cash money because I see when I see a trigger, not an annoyance, like a minor like, ugh, I just don't like that. It's not for me. Okay. Like if like I don't like strawberry ice cream. I'm not triggered by it. Like you can have strawberry ice cream. I don't want strawberry ice cream. That's different. That's a preference. I'm talking about triggered, like to my core. She's a multi-million dollar coach. She lives the life I want to live. She does what I want to do. I want to make more than $250,000 a year. I want to take my business to that next level. I want to sell more than $1 million over the course of 4 years. I want to sell $1 million in a year. Maybe even she does this in a month. What? Like that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? I'm a crazy girl, okay? I want those things. And when I was triggered by her, I had to look and be like, "Oh, When it's for you, it's before you. Or like my dad always said, if you spot it, you got it. Ah, ah. Anyway, and so people don't want to market because they feel like it's cringe. So then they don't. And then people don't buy their things. Do you want to be cringe and paid? Because, like, sure, some people are going to think you're cringe. Those people aren't your people. I'm reading this book right now, How to Start a Cult. It's like extremist marketing, and I fucking love it. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's by Jody Rainsford. It's so good if you want like to build a rock star audience that's like super aligned with your mission and vision and values, um, and your message for the world. Excuse me, I'm gonna blow my nose. 10 out of 10 recommend, okay? But like, if you're not showing up, people don't know you're there. So like you want to turn people off. That's the whole point of the cult as well, is that like or whenever you're working with big time brands, like you want to turn people off. That's if you're turning no one off, then you're turning no one on. So you want to be polarizing. And yes, it's hard at first to show up, but the more you put your face out there, every time you post, it gets easier. Every time you write an email that ends with a call to action that is a sales pitch, it gets easier. Every time you put your face to the camera and post that shit, it gets easier. Okay. So be cringe. Just do it. Be cringe. People are out here getting paid to be cringe all the time. Do you want to be paid or do you want to be vanilla? I need to change who I am or become some other version of me first. So this one is like the healing hamster wheel is what I like to call it. Like you're constantly like, no, I'll read another book, then I'll be worthy. Then I'll show up and start selling. No, let me like fix this thing about myself. I need to do the shadow work. I see this a lot with people who are like, oh, if I do the work to find out why I feel unworthy, then I'll be able to show up and make money. No, hunty, show up and make money and prove to yourself that you're worthy. Like, listen, guys, I've been doing mindset work with people since 2012. Okay. I have led hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of business owners to create massive success in their businesses. I have taken retail stores from $30,000 a month to $88,000 a month, bringing in $1 million a year. Okay. I've seen incredible results, and the biggest change is not the mindset, it's the action. And if you want to change your mindset, take the big scary action. It's the fastest way to change your mindset. It tells the subconscious directly. Action is your direct line to the subconscious. It'll change your mind faster than any type of mindset work, any type of affirmations, any type of journaling, any type of self-help like program that you go through. It does it way faster than any of that. Take the big scary action. Do the thing you're in resistance to. Okay? We need your medicine right now, not later. Okay? People have signed soul contracts to learn from you, to work with you, and they can't do their great work in the world as long as you are not showing up and selling it to them. As long as you are not giving them an opportunity to learn from you. Also, like if you're like, well, what if I change? Yeah, that's the point. Evolution is the point. I have entire fucking podcast episodes on Crowns and Chaos with my best friend Sarah Murphy, where I talk about how like enlightenment, like joy and love and light, like I want you to feel all the feels. And guess what? I still stand by that. Okay. I had to go through that really dark place and uncover all the shit in me so that I could be reborn to come back to the space of the way of mastery. I was going to pull that book up for you guys. I do love this one. 10 out of 10 recommend. So I could come back to that Christed space and feel bliss and joy. The purpose was not to just swim through the emotions. The purpose was to excavate them as deep as this thing goes, as high as this thing goes. So every time you dig down deeper, you're able to propel yourself that much higher. Okay, so the point is evolution. We want to see you, we want to watch you evolve. Are the Kardashians that we're keeping up with the same Kardashians that they were when we started keeping up with them? No, that's why it's called keeping up with them. I've never watched an episode of that. But like I'm sure that they have evolved immensely, right? Marriages, divorces, all the things. Um, the next one is afraid of being seen. You have a fear of being seen. This comes down to your integrity. Okay. It also comes down to practice. Showing up, turning on the camera, hardest thing you'll ever do. Next time, easier. Showing up, writing the post, sending the email, responding in a very powerful way to a sales obstacle, hardest thing you'll ever do. And the next time it'll be easier. The next time it'll be easier. If you have a fear of being seen, It is usually rooted, so practice is the biggest one, but it's usually rooted in a lack of integrity. There's somewhere where you are out of alignment and you are afraid that if people see you, they will see you out of alignment. So clean that shit up. Whatever it is, if you're not showing up the way you know you need to show up, if you are not showing up in your life the way you know you need to show up, then clean that up. Even if it means being vulnerable and voicing it, and telling people, this is what I don't want you to know about me. Get it out into the world so that you can get over it and start showing up. Integrity means whole. We don't want part of you. We want all of you, a fully integrated entrepreneur. I see this one a lot. I hate social media. I used to be on this train so hard. We have an entire episode on the Mobile Bev Pros podcast about like if you hate social media, here are all the different things that you can do instead. And listen, yes, you can get around social media, but for how long? Is social media going away? You have like insider knowledge that it's going away. Last I checked, it's only getting bigger. More and more people are spending more and more hours. We live in a world where money is required and social media is key. So if you are resistant to social media, clean that shit up. Clean it up. It brings you so many more opportunities, guys. Like social media, like not only does it bring you more clients and gets your message out to a wider audience in a much faster, it is literally utilizing the tools of 5D. It transcends space time because you can record a video or write a post today that will live on for years and years and years to come. Okay. It is the transcendence of space time. Resistance to structure and strategy. This is a story. Do you want to keep it? This is coming from personal experience. I was very resistant to structure and strategy all of my days as a business owner since left corporate and started my own entrepreneurial journey in 2018. I was very divine feminine, like just attract what you want. And that worked. But miracles by nature, by definition, are inconsistent. I needed magic, not miracles. I love miracles. Always welcome. And magic keeps that flywheel going. Magic has a system and a structure. Marketing has a system and a structure. Sales has a system and a structure. It does not have to be like daunting. Like, I'm not saying you need like all the workflows and you need a CRM. Actually, depending on your business model, you might need a CRM, but like I'm not saying that you need like a whole system of structure if you're in resistance to it. Mine is simply a notepad and pen, keeps in my Google Calendar, keeps me on track. Again, I want your business as lean as possible. If this tool doesn't directly contribute to how you bring in cash, we don't need it. Okay. So you can find the structure and strategy that is aligned for you. And that's what I'm going to help you do when you work with me one to one. That's what I'm going to help you do later on in this series. But you're going to need systems, strategy, and structure. On the flip side of that, like if you are somebody who's highly masculine and everything is system and structure and you have no space for miracles, you have no space for that divine feminine energy, that's also killing the vibe. That's also like you need to be able to receive from whatever the system and structure is providing you. So I have seen people be too deep in their masculine, too focused on the systems and structures, and then getting really frustrated when they're not seeing the results. And that's because they're not pouring their essence. The system and the structure is a vehicle. Just like earlier we talked about, it is a vehicle for your soul's great work in the world. The system and the structure itself is not your soul's great work in the world. I mean, unless your soul's great work is to like be an architect or to like build systems and strategies for other people. Like, and even then, though, I would say that it comes down to like support, service, whatever. Um, Lack of self-respect or committing to others but not to yourself. So, like, we see this oftentimes when people, like, if you make a promise to another person, you're more than capable of keeping it. But when you're like, tomorrow I will wake up and work out, or I'm going to work out every day for 40 days, and then you don't, that's a lack of self-respect. This is that integrity piece where you'll be afraid of people seeing you because what they'll this is like imposter syndrome. Okay, because you know that you're living on a shaky foundation. So if more people saw you, they'd be able to see that you can't keep your word to yourself. The fastest way to like clean this shit up is to do a Kriya. Any kind of Kriya yoga. I prefer Kundalini. Um, do a Kriya. And a Kriya is like it's a complete set and it will last for a certain number of days. You can also do this by like working out, cutting out carbs, like whatever, and start small. Okay. Like if you're like, I'm gonna journal every day for the next 180 days and you've never journaled, maybe that's going to require an immense amount of willpower. Okay. If you're moving into a 40-day Kriya and you've never done a Kriya before, right? Start with like one commitment that you're going to keep to yourself for the next 3 days and then double it. After you finish it for 3 days, take your little break, have your like fun, then do 6 days, right? And also recognize that like you don't have to make everything a commitment to yourself. Like you could just be like, gosh, it sure would be nice if I worked out every day. Instead of being like, I should is could with shame on it. I should work out every day. I'm gonna promise myself to work out every day for 40 days just because the thought flowed through your head, right? Because then what we do is we erode integrity. We erode self-trust. So instead, you can just be like, that would be nice. Sure do love that for them. Maybe one day, right? And then like there's no like lack of self-respect because you didn't commit to it. So be mindful of the commitments that you make to yourself and be mindful of the commitments, of course, that you make to others. Um, Another thing with marketing is that people don't know what to say. They don't know. Oh, the commitment piece. Let me back up. The commitment piece. This comes down to like in marketing, like you're like, I'm gonna post every day on social media for the rest of my life. If you've not been posting on social media consistently, let's just start with like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You know what I mean? Like, don't throw yourself into the deep end if you don't fucking know how to swim. That's just ignorance, right? Intelligence is knowing where you are. Okay. And so don't make commitments that you're not willing to keep for yourself. My husband is cooking something and it smells so good. Okay, the next one is I don't know what to say. Like you need to form your content pillars around your values, around your mission in this world, around your core message. And you can also document your journey. So, like, if you're like, I don't know what to say, then show up and be like, I don't really know what to say. I'm excited about my business. This is what I'm doing, and I'm learning how to market. So, like, I'm brand new to this. Follow me to enjoy the journey with me. You know what I mean? Like, click here if you also want to learn, like, whatever, right? Document your journey. People love imperfect people. Like, we love because we're imperfect. When I see that you're showing up authentically and imperfectly, then it gives me permission to show up authentically and imperfectly. So document your journey. People love that. And give your perspective. Like you don't, and your perspective can change. Okay. So like old videos of mine, I don't know. Like maybe I said something in there that like has changed a whole lot because I've evolved. Does that make that work like less potent? No, I supported so many women in getting rid of anxiety, completely eradicating anxiety from their life by helping them feel deeper feels. At that time in my journey, I believed, I was taught, and I took on this belief set that anxiety was a resistance to feeling. Now I understand that anxiety is unchecked imagination. And can I partner those two? I have like a fuzzy on my face. It's making my nose tickle. Can I partner those two? Right. And then if one of them no longer serves me, then I just leave it in the past and I say, yes, an old version of me taught that. And I no longer subscribe to that belief set, but it might be helpful for you to explore it. Information is always evolving and changing. The facts are never the facts. Even in science, like science will come out and say, this is what we found. And then the very next week, it'll be like, and then we did more experiments, and this is what we found, right? It's always changing and evolving. Um, So if you don't know what to say, form your content pillars, pick three things. Like I'm going to talk about sales, marketing, and soul-led business, whatever. Soul-led, maybe yours is like, I'm going to talk about the wedding industry, my experience with booking high-paying brides, and like networking to find clients, right? Those are your three pillars. You can pick any three, just pick three, and they can change. Nothing that we build here today is a static structure. As you evolve, your business will evolve. Like take that deep breath with me. I am allowed to evolve. I love to evolve. I'm so safe to evolve. It's safe for my business to grow and evolve with me. Okay. I don't know enough. I might be wrong, waiting to have all the answers. This is that same piece. The same one of these leads right into the next. It's almost like I wrote this on purpose. Humility, sharing your process is allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to be wrong and then acquire new information and change your mind, allowing yourself to change your mind. If you're waiting to have all the answers, you'll be waiting forever because this is a big old blue world we live on, baby. Like everybody's going to have conflicting information. And don't forget that your step five can help someone at step three. That doesn't mean that you're not still tracking to step eight. But your step eight then is going to be able to help somebody at step five. You don't need to be light years across the planet, light years ahead, in order to support somebody at step one. And in fact, you won't resonate with them, right? If you're like, I've been in this industry for 25 years, I'm going to help somebody who's just getting started. Your message, there's going to be a dissonance. You're not going to resonate with them because you're so far gone from where they are that like you can inspire them, but can you lead them? Are you still familiar enough with the problems that they have that you can lead them properly? I don't, that's debatable. I wouldn't think so. I would think you always want to reach back two steps and say, hey, this is how I got to step five. And people at step three are going to be like, oh, yes, I want to go to step five too, right? They see it as a natural progression and they see you as a natural leader to get them there. I don't want to be annoying. We talked about this one in the first one, like it's cringe. I don't want to be annoying. You can't annoy your people, and you do want to annoy your not people. Okay. Nobody cares. This is the other one that I hear a lot is like, nobody care. Who's going to care about what I have to say? This is a lack of enthusiasm. Nobody wants to buy from somebody who's not enthusiastic about what they're selling. This is selling 101, marketing 101, queen. Like, nobody cares, but do you? Because if you are so lit up and turned on by what it is that you're here to do in the world, this is where that mission is really important. You have to have that mission. Yes, I teach marketing and sales. Is that my mission? No. Rich bitches is my mission. Okay. Rich women in their power is my mission because that's how we heal humanity. All right, we want mamas with money. Mamas with money. That's my new tagline. I'm changing that shit on TikTok. Okay, mamas with money. That's what we want. If you look out into the world and you're like, nobody cares about what I'm putting out into the world, you don't care enough about what you put out into the world. You need to fix that shit. Maybe what you're putting out isn't aligned. Maybe it's not aligned with your soul's mission. Maybe you're saying, like, oh, I can do this and make a bunch of money. And you're not saying, like, oh, I could do this and this is how I could impact a bunch of people. Oh, this is how I could do this and this is how I could transform said thing, the world, this group of people, this experience for this person, whatever it is. Money is the vehicle, it's not the goal. The goal is whatever your soul's mission is. Money's going to help you get there. Money's going to help other people follow you. Okay. Money is a natural byproduct, but we can't just be like, I want to be a millionaire. Why? For what? That's not going to fulfill you. That's not going to, your soul's not going to be satiated because it has $1 million. Your soul has a purpose, a mission. You have to find that, and then the money comes. If that's aligned, if that's what you really want. Most of us really, if you're here watching this, it's because that's what you want, right? But some people, the path of the renunciate, they're like, fuck the cash. I want enlightenment over all things. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to get it, which is actually a really beautiful path, by the way. I admire I have a deep reverence for the path of the renunciate. And I tried for many years to ignore my soul's purpose in order to walk the path of the renunciate. I would sacrifice again and again and again everything about myself, trying to follow the path of the renunciate. And what I found ultimately was that I'm here to help women generate wealth and power. And I'm not going to do that from a mountain in the Himalayas, not talking to anybody. So it was out of alignment for me. But it's in alignment for a few beautiful souls. All right, sales. Now we're moving on to sales. This is the last section, guys. I don't want to sound sleazy. Bitch, then don't be sleazy. Like, why is this a thing? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. The sleazy car salesman, I understand. But like, if you're not sleazy, then how can you come off as sleazy? Now, people might perceive you as sleazy, but those people have broke consciousness. Those people are mad at anybody who's trying to sell them anything because secretly they want to be good salespeople. That sucks for them. Let them work that out on their own. That's theirs, not yours. Okay. Root into your mission. If you're rooted into your mission, then you're not going to feel sleazy. Like, yes, you're going to pay me and I'm going to help you make hella bank. And you know why? Because the more wise women who have bank, the more the The faster we heal humanity. You see what I'm saying? So we're quantum leaping here, root into your mission. If your mission is, I want to have a huge business that doesn't give a shit about its customers and makes a bunch of money, then you're going to come off as sleazy. And you are sleazy. Are you sleazy? No. Okay, then you don't like, that's a story. Do you want to keep it? Is it serving you? Um, Soul service is never sleazy. I have that here. I wanted to say it. People might say no. Yeah, girl, they will. Queen, people are gonna say no to you, and it's a gift. It's a gift. Receive it with love. When people tell you no, then it's not meant to be. Like, that's not for you. That's not your person. People might say no, they will, and you want them to say no because every time somebody says no, you get clear on who you're for. You get clear, you get to practice a rebuttal, right? People say that my price is too high. I'm going to cover in the sales portion of Unapologetic common rebuttals to obstacles that people have. Like the number one is like, I can't afford it. And like, that's not a true thing. If people really want what you have, they're never actually saying I can't afford it. They're saying I'm not willing to afford it yet. Okay. And there are tons of ways to get around that if they're aligned for you. Okay. Because sometimes they'll say, I can't afford it. And what they're actually saying is we're out of alignment. Right. But people don't have like the consciousness, they don't have like the um, verbiage to like clearly communicate what it is that's happening in their body when they're telling you no. Anyway, so we'll cover that one later. People will say that your price is too high. I want to remind you that we only take feedback from people who have something we want. We only take feedback from people who have something we want. So if a non-business owner is sitting at your table telling you that your services are too high and that nobody's going to pay that and they're not your ideal client, then thank you so much for your opinion. Much like assholes, everybody has one. They usually stink. Okay, I don't care what you think if my prices are too high. Like my prices are that's the other thing is that even like if somebody who is wealthier than you but doesn't see value in what you do, they're gonna think your price is too high too. You know what I don't care about is a fucking Birkin. Like I have two pocketbooks. I have a black one and a brown one. I have so that they match all of my black or brown shoes, right? Like I'm efficient. You can't sell me a very bougie, high-end bag. Do I think they're beautiful? Yes. Am I going to use it? No. Like it's just not a line for me. I'm not poo-pooing on high-end bags. Like go get it, girlfriend. Like I love it. It's not for me though, right? You could sell me a book though. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was a book though, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we have this um ancient grimoire for $700. Tattoos, I'm in, right? Like this. So like for me, I would be a bad person to say like, is the price of this pocketbook too high? I can't give you clear, I don't know. I don't value pocketbooks. You know what I'm saying? And really at the end of the day, it's about like you how much you want to charge so that you're not in your not self and human design, so that you're being divinely compensated in the way that you want to be compensated. And it's about like, does it cover all your costs? Does it leave you profit at the end, right? And so like that's what we're looking at with price. We're never just taking feedback from people who don't have successful businesses, from people who are known to judge us for everything. This is like your parents, right? Like your parents are going to be like, that's not possible. Okay, thanks, ma'am. You know what I mean? Like, my dad would tell you that my business is overly priced and he's been stagnant for 20 years. Do I want that advice? Does he have something I want? No. You see what I'm saying? I've seen people sabotage their price. The reason I'm so like heavy on this is because I've seen people sabotage their prices by listening to people who have never ran a business, who have never coached a person, who have never invested in a coach, who have never, they don't see the value in coaching, and they're like, your prices are too high. And then like they'll lower their prices and be very bitter at the very first person who signs with them. It's not that person's fault. It's also not the person's fault whose advice you took. It's your fault for taking shit advice. You know what I mean? Know your value, mommy. All right, last three, discernment, and audacity. When to sell, who to sell, where to sell. You have to understand, like, always be selling, but like only to your people. You don't want to be selling to everybody. Like, you don't need to like sell your Aunt Carol a coaching package because she's an alcoholic and you could heal her. I see healers want to sell to everybody. Healers think everybody needs their medicine. Mommy, no, they don't. Like, do they need it? Maybe. Do they want it? Different story. different story. And if they don't want it and you're trying to give it, it's ill received. It's a waste of your energy and it frustrates that person. And then you're frustrated, they're frustrated. What did we get out of the situation? Stop trying to heal your mamas, aunties, uncles, brothers, cousins, sisters. Stop trying to heal them. They don't want it. All right. Christ said a prophet has no power in his own house. Your family is not your ideal client. They are not your dream client. They are not going to pay you high ticket prices for your, they're not even going to pay you low ticket prices. They don't want your advice for free. Change rooms, discernment and audacity. When you're selling, you need to be audacious. What I have is the very best. Here's why it's the very best, and here's why you need it. Okay. We don't do that by saying, like, I'm better than everybody else. That's not audacity. That's not discernment. That's not like good business. It's just that I'm the best. If you're attracted to me, you feel like I have keys for you, then I'm the fucking best for what you need right now. Period. Right? Selling boldly too is so sexy, except for the people who don't want to buy your shit. Don't you like, you don't want to be attractive to everybody. Ugh. Last two, I don't want to be annoying. This comes up to follow up. When it comes time to like follow up with people to sell your services, shut the fuck up. Just send the email, send the text message. I'm telling you, after years of being in sales and service, in marketing, follow up is the game changer. I've heard 8 times, I've heard 12 times. I have personally followed up with people 24 times before they converted, and they converted at $6,000. Okay. I have worked a follow up that paid me $24,000 for a coaching, for our coaching together. $24,000 she paid me. It took her 3 months to convert, and I followed up respectfully but regularly to find out where we were in the process. I knew that she wanted what I had because she told me she did. And so then I'm doing a disservice to her by not following up and keeping me top of mind. I have medicine for you. You know it. I know it. Where are we at in this process? Follow up. Send the email, send the text, send the DM, whatever it is. Follow up. It makes all the difference. If you get somebody in that's like, oh, I want this, but I'll have to talk to my husband. Actually, we'll cover all of that in the rest of this unapologetic series. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds here because this is just mindset. The last one is negotiation. My prices are my prices. Say it with me. My prices are my prices. It's not up to you to determine my price. Okay. It's up to me. I'm going to read you something. Somebody got a text message this morning from a friend who was going to invest in their services. This is a mobile bar owner. And they sent it to me and asked me like what my thoughts were on their response. And I'm going to share it with you. So they had already offered this friend a free espresso add-on or a free um, like piece of equipment on site. Okay. So those are already, we're already working under value here because we're already doing a deal. This is the problem with friends. Friends always want a deal. Like if you're my friend, pay me. What? If you're my friend and you want me to succeed, then pay me. Anyway, and so they say, hey, so and so, we've had a few other quotes come in and they are quite friendlier on the budget. That is, and this is close to my max. And she said, hey, friend, we don't compete on price and definitely aren't for every client. Our prices are reflected in our staff's wages, fresh ingredients. We're the only bar in our area that juices everything and uses homemade syrups, attention to detail, sustainability efforts, and quality of equipment that we've built and use at events. I'd be happy to take another look at the other quotes, but it's tough because you're comparing apples to oranges. The quotes that we sent over are customizable and we can chat about adjusting services to land closer to your budget. It just may not be what you've seen us do at past weddings. There's so many like red flags in this response. I'm going to give you my response because she said, "What how would you change this?" right? And I said, this feels like a lot of justification and unnecessary explanation. I would cut the whole fucking first section out of that. And also, like, I would also cut out the piece where it's like, um, I'd be happy to take a look at the other quotes. No, I'm not looking at anybody else's prices because I don't run their business. That's not any of my business, right? That's their business. Sovereignty Craft coming soon. I'm going to be dropping lessons in here on Sovereignty Craft as well. Sovereignty Craft as well. I talk fast when I get excited. And it's like this juicy, delicious, how to hold power, how to like move from your power center. So yummy. Anyway, I said, this feels like a lot of justification and unnecessary explanation. I would simply say, listen to the difference here and tell me how this feels in your body. I completely understand that I completely understand that you're very budget concept conscious. You can't tell me how you feel if I can't read my own. I completely understand that you're very budget conscious around this aspect of your event. If you're committed to my bar providing this service, I'm happy to remove X, Y, and Z in order to lower the investment level on your end. What are your thoughts? And so then we are not negotiating my value, my worth. I'm not like justifying my worth or like arguing about price. I'm simply saying, like, you can get less from me for less money, but you're damn sure not going to get what I do for less money. So like let's take off some magic, like take off some services, and then potentially it's more in your budget, right? And so like that's the only way that I would negotiate is by saying I can do less service, right? And if you're a coach or a healer or practitioner and there are elements of your service that are absolutely necessary for you to perform to your standard, then we don't negotiate on that, okay? Because what we're not going to do is when he responds and he's like, "Well, what if we use like store-bought juices?" No, that's not my brand experience. For me to perform to my standard, we're going to use my simple syrups, we're going to use my um fresh squeezed lemons or whatever it is. Like that's against my values. I won't take that. We can just take away the espresso machine, take away the third drink, take away, right? Like there's things that we can take away without me having to lower my standards and without you having to um pay for the whole shebang, right? But the other thing here too is that like when you're selling to friends and family, like a prophet has no power in his own house. If they don't value you, there's nothing that you can say to them to make them value you. Period. Okay, that's all I have for these three. I'm sure there are so many more that will come up. I think I'm going to start a Telegram group for the Mysterium where I just drop daily wisdom into the Telegram group that you guys will have private access to, like listen to my daily riffs on. And so if anything else comes up here, I will either add it in the notes or keep an eye out for the Mysterium and see if I drop that because that's a feature that I'm considering right now and I think it'd be so delicious. And if that feature makes it to the Mysterium, then I will start dropping these nuggets, further nuggets in there. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out and learning with me, expanding your mindset today, tackling all these fears and anxieties that you have around sales, money, marketing. And listen, if you are like in a space where you're like, okay, I need to expand, like I'm being called from my soul to work with this woman, then I encourage you to reach out to me. I am currently taking one-to-one clients. You can jump into the Mysterium where you'll get these like pre-recorded lessons. But if you're like, no, I need your eyes on my business. I want you auditing my things. I want to be able to send you my posts before I post them so that we can make sure that they're super direct and super powerful. I want to be sure that like my marketing is honed in, that I know my soul's purpose and the message around my brand and what makes me stand out, what makes me the most obvious option for my dream clients, then reach out. DM me on socials, email me oracle@dawnellchristian.com, hit reply on whatever. If you're watching this on Podia, there's like a little comment section, like let me know and let's get you booked for a discovery call, for a clarity call, so we can find out like how can we work best together moving forward, because I want to support you. I want you to be wise and wealthy, and I want you to be moving from your center of power. I love you so much and thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys on the next one.